Picture It Los Angeles 2025.
Hello and welcome to Out on the Lanai. For a minute, I thought we were doing the Rusty Anchor Happy Hour, so I was about to go into a different thing. Welcome to Out on the Lanai, everyone. You can subscribe on Patreon if you want to hear the Rusty Anchor Happy Hour intro. This is the only Golden Girls podcast you're ever going to need to listen to. I'm HAlanScott / Sadie Pines.
I'm Kerri Doherty, and today we are bringing you another Golden Rewind where we go back and rewatch our favorite episodes of The Golden Girls and offer new insights since we first started breaking down these episodes way back in 2014. And if you didn't catch a UFO sighting in the sky tonight, maybe another time, Blanche, because we just rewatched season 4, episode 3, The One That Got Away.
The truth is out there, and his name is Ham.
Ham. Lush bow.
Wow.
Rush bow, lush bow.
This episode, it's so funny. This episode, while it is not in my heavy rotation, I'll admit that. It's not one that I go to intentionally watch a lot of the times. It is so good. It is such a good episode.
It's such a good episode. I love the sweetness of the B story, like a story about UFOs and extraterrestrials that could have been treated so silly, has some really earnest and sweet moments that I love.
Yeah, because it, like, in a weird way, even though this is very much a Blanche episode, it's very much an episode that is centered around Blanche's comings and goings. It is also very rooted in both Rose's innocence and her own sort of sense of wonder, but also you see Dorothy sort of pivot around the idea of sort of being rational and then being sort of like, you know, thinking outside the box. And you see there's just a lot of layers to the characters, all the characters, with the exception of Sophia. Sophia doesn't get a lot of love in this episode, but she's funny. She's very funny. But like the other characters are very layered in this episode.
Yeah, I think like, you know, for Blanche, we talk a lot about her vulnerability, her insecurities. I love when you think of a character like Blanche Devereaux, to have a story that's about like the one man she failed to conquer.
It's so
It
good.
speaks to her vanity, it speaks to her insecurities. And I love that other than Ham, she has a perfect record, which is like Blanche Devereaux has never struck out. And
which you believe. Yeah. I believe that. I fully believe that. Like and can we talk about Blanche's outfits in this episode? I quite literally said to Michael, and I do this often whenever I'm watching the show, but I quite literally said to Michael, I'm going to need you to make me that. I'm going to need that for Sadie. I'm going to need like there's the long black gown that she wears with the white sort of stuff in the middle and the flower and all that. I'm going to need, I envision an outfit for Sadie that's very much like that, more shaped, because she does a lot of column dresses, which I don't really love. But I want more shape to it because I got some body. But then I'm going to like tear off the bottom of the skirt and it's going to be super short, like slutty short.
Ooh, I love that. A reveal
short.
Dress.
Almost so short that you see black panties.
Wow.
Yeah. Right?
I love that as a Sadie look.
Or maybe like a little pink panty to match like whatever flower she has on top. So when you take it off, it's sort of like, ooh.
Oh, that could be fun. Yeah, if it matches that pink rose.
Yeah.
I know. I was obsessed with that outfit. It looked so good on her. And I feel like Judy Evans, the costume designer, this is Blanche Devereaux going all out to try to get a man. And she's got, when you're thinking of like, well, what can we put her in? It's got to be something that, she has this off the shoulder. She's showing a lot of skin, a lot of cleavage, a lot of clavicle. Yeah. And it was a brilliant dress, brilliant decision.
Power of a clavicle. Honestly, I went on Ozempic just to get my clavicles back. I just needed my clavicles back because when a clavicle exists, and you don't have to be too skinny to have a clavicle exist. I've learned this. I'm still fat and I got now clavicles. So like you just need to be in that one little area of your body where the clavicle, you're just fat enough that the clavicle pops through, because that clavicle's better than a butt. It's better than a leg. It's better than a boob. The clavicle. Oh, you put a little highlighter on that little clavicle. Oh.
For those playing the drinking game at home, it is drink anytime you hear the word clavicle until your back is up against the wall and you've slid down like Blanche Devereaux. Okay, we are going to get so much into this episode because we do have a lot of great stuff to talk about. I do want to talk about what's going on over in the GGVIP Club this week over at patreon.com/Golden Girls Podcast. So this week on the Rusty Anchor Happy Hour, which we do every week, it's our bonus episode. Because this episode of the Golden Girls was so heavy with extraterrestrials and UFOs, we decided to do two fun things. One is we're going to talk about the alien movies that scared us the most in our lives, and then we're going to subject our the GGVIP club to the scariest moments because we pulled the scenes. So we're going to torture you as well, and then we're going to talk about yes, please.
I love the differences in how our brains work because they are so apparent in both of our clips, like so apparent on a level that is comical. You're going to want to watch this, Rusty Anchor Happy Hour.
I don't know what you picked yet, so I'm very excited to see what that is. And I believe you when you say that. And we're also going to talk about on the Rusty Anchor Happy Hour, we always love to do these theoreticals. And on this one, we're going to talk about what each Golden Girl, each character would do if they were abducted by extraterrestrials. And finally, a little research that I did.
I love the theoreticals.
It's always a theoretical. Yeah. And also if the Golden Girls in real life believed in UFOs. I do want to say
the truth is out there.
The truth is out there. What I love about these Rusty Anchor Happy Hours is, so we'll talk about like, hey, what would each Golden Girl do if the four of them were just lifted up in, into a spaceship? And then we always put the question out to the GGVIP club. So that's one of my favorite things is when everybody's commenting about what they think would happen. And we all have these like great conversations going on in the comment section week after week. So that's why we like to do these fun theoreticals sometimes, because we always have a call to action for everybody to do in the comments. And the conversations just end up being so fun and silly.
It's so much fun. It's so, because we are recording this on a Saturday, which is not our normal schedule. It's a Saturday evening at that, which shows that we're only 28, but we're older. So like the fact that we're giving up our Saturday evening to record a podcast says a lot about where we are in our lives. Yes. But it's interesting because I earlier, because usually when I record these, I work in a full day, or I'm working or interviewing people or doing things. Today, I slept in. What did I do? I went to the gym. I had a little thing. Then I had to go record something else. And I got stuff done. You know what I mean? But in a casual, like leisurely way. And now I'm here. I'm hyped up on Diet Coke. I'm ready to talk about aliens. I think this is going to be a feisty episode.
I think it's going to be a feisty episode too, because it is a Saturday night. I unfortunately don't get to sleep in like you do, but it is a Saturday night.
And the Golden Girls aired on Saturday night. So it's very it almost is like, stuff's happening.
Stuff's happening.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to say about the GGVIP Club is that we have another watch-along party that's coming up Sunday, August 31st at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. If voting for the episodes isn't open up yet, it will be soon because I forget when this will be released. But yeah, we're going to have another great watch-along party. So if you are thinking about joining the GGVIP Club, check out the Rusty Anchor Happy Hours, check out all of the bonus content that we have, interviews with cast, crew, all sorts of fun GG people.
So much
fun.
And
then join us for the watch along party. That is for the $8 a month tier, which is like, we did the math at one point. It's something like 2.5 cents per person for you and me every day. It's like, it's nothing.
For you and me. Well, before we get to the episode, there is some breaking Golden Girls news that needs to be discussed. We need to have this communication right here, right now. Variety broke this week officially some of the plans that ABC Disney is having around the 40th anniversary of the Golden Girls, including a special on ABC, an hour-long special on ABC, which is very exciting. How do you feel about the 40th anniversary coming up? And are you excited for all these things to be happening?
I'm very excited for the 40th anniversary. It makes me feel old, I'll be honest, but it's just incredible. It just goes to show that The Golden Girls is such a timeless sitcom. It's like, wow, 40 years. And think about like how big of an audience this show still has and how it's reaching new generations. And then in terms of the specials, so I don't really know what's going to happen, but I've been communicating with one of the producers from, I believe it's the ABC special, and about maybe being on the special. But she's got a lot of people that they're out to interview, and I think they're still kind of figuring out
I know, it makes me wonder
the special is going to be about. So I may or may not be on it. Either way, I'm excited. I'm a fan. I'll watch.
I hope you are. I mean, I want this producer and the Golden Girls community to know that we were the first Golden Girls podcast. Thank you very much.
Oh, I did tell her. I told her we were the first.
Thank you very much. I mean, we support all the journeys of all the other podcasts, but I just, the recognition. I'm very excited by this. I do wonder who all is. I mean, the creative team, I'm sure Stan's involved in I kept meaning to text him. But I'm sure like all the creative teams are going to be involved in the special and everything, which is wonderful. And there's so many different things, even outside the special, that's happening. But I will say this, and because we are all, if you're listening to this, you clearly are a GGVIP. Like you are like, you're one of us. You're the hardcore, diehard fans of the Golden Girls. And whenever there's something big that happens in the Golden Girls universe, an anniversary, unfortunately, whenever the deaths happened around the women, or like whenever something big happens, or like when a viral story goes out about the fight or whatever it is, it brings about attention from leisurely fans of the Golden Girls. The fans that sort of catch it on TV land occasionally, but don't like listen to the podcast or like care to go deep dive or like talk about, Frida Claxton in the way that we do. Like they're the ones that like say like, oh, did you know that Sophia was actually younger than Dorothy or whatever it is? Like they're those fans. And while I love them and they're welcomed in this community, of course we welcome them, I think we can all agree we're the more important ones. Like the people like us, you and I, and people listening, and like we're the ones who get it. So like, sure, you can have the anniversary specials, you can have the parties, you can have the whole things, you can have your little trivia things where you talk about the things that we all already knew and know for years and years and don't have to talk about because duh. But the real community is the people who are celebrating Golden Girls 365. I'm just saying, I just don't want the conversations or I always dread like the casual straight dude who comes up to me and be like, yeah, I like, even though it's all girls, I like the Golden Girl. I like that they're funny. And I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you for sharing that, sir. I'm glad you're giving them their support, but don't talk to me.
I was wondering what your take was going to be on this, and it was pretty much in line with what I imagined it would be.
I like the hardcore fans. I mean, I respect the people who come at it casually, and I accept the people who are like, oh, I've never seen an episode of the Golden Girls, but also what's wrong with you? And
sure.
And like there's a little bit of judgment. So like whenever these things happen, I get a little bit of anxiety because it's just a little, it brings out the kind of people that aren't us.
Sure.
Just saying.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I have a bunch of clips. I have so many notes. I am so excited to dive into this episode. I feel like we just got to get to it.
I'll put on my swimsuit. Let's go for a dive.
Yep. Get that shower cap on. No, the hair cap. What is that called?
Hair cap. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get in the water.
So this episode begins. We got Dorothy, Rose, and Sophia, who eventually goes away, but they're out on the Lanai plugs. So many out on the Lanai plugs in this episode. And they see something fly overhead, and Rose believes it is a UFO and that they should call the authorities because the extraterrestrials are probably looking for someone to take up to their ship.
Okay, Kerri, Dorothy, do you believe in UFOs?
That's what I was going to ask you. Yeah, like I can kind of see both sides, right? So there's like the Rose camp where you think like, we could find ourselves in a cocoon situation where extraterrestrials mean we never age, kind of like you and I don't age now. Or that aliens could provide, cures for diseases, or as Rose puts it, new storylines for Alf. And then there's that Dorothy camp where it's like thinking of the possibility of extraterrestrials could be terrifying, which is like, what if they suck off our faces with their tentacles? So I'm sort of in like a middle camp where, like Jodie Foster said in Contact, if we're the only ones out here, then wow, what a waste of space.
Didn't her dad say that?
Maybe, but didn't she? Someone said it in Contact. You know the movie better than I do. Thank you for correcting me.
My quote from it is, they should have sent a poet.
Yeah.
She's floating.
Yeah. Yes. I feel we just talked about that on a recent episode.
Did we? Okay.
So I feel like I do believe in them. I do vow to. I do believe in them.
I do believe in sluts.
I do believe in sluts, but at the same time, I don't want to know anything. Like, don't come around. Just keep a distance. I like the knowledge I have of them now, which is like, I'll watch a Roswell documentary once in a while and be like, oh yeah, no, that kind of seems. But I just keep it arm's length.
Yeah,
that's where
I agree with that. I kind of think of it as like porn. Like, I know you've seen porn, but I don't want to know what gets you off in your porn viewage. Like, we don't need to talk about that. That's how I am with aliens. Like, I believe they exist. I believe they're out there, just like porn. Like, it's out there. Like, we're all watching it, but we don't need to talk about it. We don't need to talk about it. We don't need to go in the thing. Because, like, of course they exist. It's stupid to think that we would be the only ones in the whole of all of the universes. I don't understand space or how that works, but like there are other universes or something, right? Like the actual space that we know is actually really small compared to like space, right?
Yeah,
I don't understand it. But like, because of that, because so much, like, we know only like maybe like what a certain percentage of what space is, like a small portion of what actual space is and what it is like and everything. I'm sure there's some planet out there who probably figured out stuff long away from what we know, like so much more than what we know. And yeah, of course they are, but we don't need to know each other. It's fine. It's like me and my neighbors. I don't need to know them. I know they exist. They're there. They make noise. They have a dumb dog. Like, I get it, but I don't need to. I'm not gonna seek them out.
Yeah. Okay. So you and I are kind of on the same. We're kind of on the same plane. We kind of fall in between Dorothy and Rose, I think.
Unless they're hot, and that's part of my Rusty Anchor happy hour.
That's a whole other thing.
If the alien's hot, I'm into it.
So Rose decides to stay out on the Lanai plug, and Dorothy excuses herself to go back inside. And I know we just started talking, but I do have the first clip because we get a Blanche moment that we've seen a few times on this show, and I always love these moments, so we have to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Blanche, are you in a good mood?
Dorothy, you always could see right through me.
Now, listen, I know the influence that Rue McClanahan has had on my life. I understand this, both my drag and who I am as a human being, as a person that exists in the world. And yesterday, it wasn't last night. Yesterday, we were out with a friend. And I tend to, I don't even know that I'm doing it. I think it might be if there's silence, I do this, and to like break the silence or something. I don't know what it is in my brain that makes me do it. But sometimes I will just randomly go, I don't know why I do it.
My.
I honestly don't know why I do it, but I do it. And I did it yesterday, and then we passed a girl, like a young girl. We were in Beverly Hills because we went and got Botox. And then we were going to the Cheesecake Factory afterwards. And I
love that.
Yes. And I was walking. Well, we stopped by Sephora on the way, and then we left. Whatever. We passed some girls, like young girls, and I was like, or whatever, and I scared them.
Oh no!
They were scared.
They weren't quite ready for it.
Sometimes the noise is more. Sometimes I'm more sexual, like Blanche, but in that moment, I think I was just comical. But yeah.
Yeah, it was a little bit more silly. Yeah. So Blanche is wordlessly horny because she just got off the phone with Ham Lushbow. What a name. And so they went to college together. He's in town on business. He's single. He wants to be her date to the museum ball on Saturday night. And this was a guy who she went to college with. All the girls used to chase him. Him and Blanche never actually dated because she tried to hook up with him the night of the rally before their big homecoming game. And she said to him, Ham, you think you might want a little company tonight? And he said, maybe some other time, Blanche, which he actually had the band spell it out on the field. That is quite a bit of effort. Like,
and also it's very not what a young horny boy is going to do. Like, even if whatever happens is bad, they still want whatever it is.
Yeah, that was the one thing. There was like, I had a bit of a hard time with like suspension of disbelief because I was like, really, a college age guy, even if he had a bad lay, you're telling me that he wouldn't try it again? Even as an adult, I call BS a little bit.
Exactly. It's like, you know, yeah, of course. Like, and I've like what I always said about my like, you know, dating life in the past. I was always just sort of like, well, I'll sleep with someone that's bad at whatever just for the story. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's a funny story. Like, I'm not gonna whatever. Like, I'm okay with it.
I every time he turns Blanche down, I'm like, I don't know how he does it because
I don't get it.
She is so sexy
but it made me
and
think,
sexual.
It did make me think. So like, okay, yeah, we're both happily taken, but if someone from your past who was like super hot, who you never really hooked up with, but you also were like, damn, and then they came a knocking, would you be curious?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Oh my God, me too. I would want.
Yeah.
Yes, me too. That's all I can say about that.
So, let's see. Where are my notes here? Oh, okay. So meanwhile, over in our B story, sweet Rose. She's trying to communicate with the extraterrestrials. She's out on the Lanai plug. Holding a comically large flashlight. Like, this is it looks like a prop, like a fake flashlight. And she's like strobing it on and off against a tin pan to get like the UFO's attention, which I think is really, really sweet.
Yeah. She wants to have that ET moment. She wants to communicate with whatever's out there. In this moment, in this episode, which one? Mulder and Scully. Mulder is David Duchovny, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Rose is Mulder.
Mm-hmm.
And Dorothy is Scully. Dorothy is Gillian Anderson.
I never really watched the show. Is that more their dynamic?
Yeah, because like David Duchovny's character is the one who believes, and the Gillian Anderson's character is this, you know, skeptical.
She's the skeptic.
She's like, I don't know about that. Prove it to me.
I didn't like in the scene that Dorothy poked fun of Oprah's weight and intellect.
Well, this is also an episode where weight jokes are left and right.
Set the stage for me because I'm like, also, I feel like Oprah is one of the smartest people on the planet. So, this joke didn't hit for me.
It's interesting
the way that some jokes don't hit for me. That even though they're of a certain time period, this one I was just like, well, that doesn't really make sense to me.
It does. If there's a great podcast put out by the Chicago NPR station, I forget exactly the call letters for that. W's, I forget. Anyway, and it was on Oprah. It was on the Oprah show and sort of the history of the Oprah show. And what's so fascinating about Oprah at this point in history, in 1990 or 89-90 when this episode came out, I think it was 89 actually. But what's so interesting about Oprah is that for the first, I don't know, maybe 5 years of Oprah, it was, and maybe even early 90s, it was very much your typical talk show. I mean, there were celebrity guests, of course, but it wasn't the inspirational Oprah that we know today. Other than the weight loss journey that she went on, there weren't the Dr. Phils, there weren't the Dr. Oz's. Thanks for that, Oprah, for both of those. It wasn't like that type of Oprah. She wasn't the billionaire Oprah that we know. She was just the talk show host, who of course was massive, but there was sort of a, I don't want to say trashy element, but there was sort of like an old school talk show element of my sister cheated on me, or my
the
husband cheated on
Maury,
me
the
with my
Jenny
sister.
Jones, Sally Jesse.
And the podcast that Oprah participated in about the Oprah show, the Chicago radio podcast, she talks about the moment where she realizes she needed to shift from what everyone was doing in that regard, and how she moved into the more inspirational, intellectual, celebrity-driven one. And that was a real. So this joke, I think, is more in line with the weight struggles / trash talk show type vibe of Oprah that was more common then.
I knew you'd be able to explain it.
Yeah.
So I am very impressed with Rose in this scene because while Dorothy's like still doesn't believe that they saw anything, Rose does. And Miss Rose Nyland was able to get a major from the military on the phone to tell him about it. She didn't have to leave a message with the secretary. She didn't get a full voice mailbox. She gets a major on the phone. I have to say that's really impressive.
Major Captain General. Yeah.
Yeah. And then while they're out there, Blanche comes out looking for reassurance on her outfit and how she looks for Ham. And this is the dress. Good. The long black dress off the shoulder. Is that like chiffon off the shoulder? And then that kind of like trails down her front.
And the way that it frames her bosom. I mean, it is just one of the, it's up there with the red wedding dress. It is just one of the best dresses. Yeah.
And I love she's fishing. And finally Dorothy's like, Blanche, no woman has ever looked better than you right now, and no one ever will.
And I support that.
Is that hard?
I support that because whenever I say, how do I look, or how whatever, and then someone tells me, you look fine, I want to rip their face off.
That's the answer that you're looking for every time.
You can say, you look good. I would accept that. You can say, oh, yeah, I love that, whatever. Be specific about the thing. You can say, I look hot. But fine tells me nothing. Fine gives me nothing. Fine is beige. Fine is the color of the apartment it is when you move in. Fine sucks.
Yeah.
No, don't ever say fine.
Yeah. It's right up there with Ham saying maybe another time because it doesn't make any sense. I'm going to get into that, though, because I have thoughts about that. So Ham shows up, played by the late, great John Harkins. I think this casting was great because for most of the episode, like Ham, he's got such a friendly face and demeanor. He's really smiley. He's very likable for the majority of the episode.
Yeah.
And obviously Blanche is shocked because Ham is not what she was expecting.
No.
And then basically the rest of the scene are like fat jokes at Ham's expense. Same as it was with Becky when she showed up for the first time. Like Blanche fills the women's heads with these expectations about how this person looks. That person shows up and then they make fat jokes for the rest of the scene. And like, here's the thing. People age. Like, if I was in my mid-50s and I had plans to meet up with a crush from college, I'd have little expectation that he looked the same as we did when we were in our early 20s.
And, the one thing that matters most in that situation doesn't change.
Why are you winking?
Because it's the one organ that Blanche is actually after.
Oh, that
doesn't change. Just the things around it changes. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Now I get it. I know it's Saturday night, but I might as well be recording this on Monday morning at 6 a.m. So, but what's very sweet is Ham is like,
can I say to the fat jokes?
Yes,
I say to the
please.
fat jokes?
Yes.
Like, and we've talked about this before when we watched this episode in the past and everything. And yeah, the jokes don't age well. They're not progressive. But even though it was wrong at the time, it still was a different time. I want to say that. But also too, there are ways to joke about sort of body image issues that make it, funny and inclusive. And I wasn't, even though, while some of the jokes I was a little, a lot of the jokes I was a little, as a fat person, I was not necessarily offended by a lot of the jokes. And I also think too, like, time and place, you know what I mean? Like, it was, and also some of the jokes, while some of the jokes were offensive to Ham, let's just be real. When you're with your friends, you say things that maybe aren't the best things sometimes because you're with your trusted group of friends. And that is frankly kind of real of them to be doing the jokes that they're doing in that moment, because you can let your guard down and talk about the things that you wouldn't normally talk about in person.
In front of him,
yes,
though?
that was wrong. But what I'm saying is, like, and that was the cringe part, but like the jokes that Sophia makes when he's not there or whatever it is, like that like that's more real for me, you know?
Sure. Yeah, that I understand. But yeah, the fact that he's there is like nuts. I at first I was like a little surprised that Blanche still wanted to go to the museum ball with him instead of making an excuse, because I think about the way she was with Jake and how she's like very aware and conscious of being seen out in a public setting, especially in a workplace setting at a fancy event.
But it's worse for her to go alone than anything else. Even if like someone is not so great, her being there alone is probably the worst. So I think that's what it is.
And I think, too, at the end of the day, she is still trying to conquer him. And so I think that also maybe becomes more important than the image.
Which is very alpha of her in that, like, it's almost like a score that she needs to get. Like, she needs to get in order for her to feel like she's herself, you know?
Yeah. Well, I do want to get into a really great Dorothy clip moment, but do we need to take a break first?
Yeah, we should take a break. We should take a break and come back with the door, because there's y'all know some good things are about to come.
And we are back. And this is the moment in the episode where Major Barker from just the military, we don't know what branch, but that's fine, he shows up and gives us a great physical Dorothy moment. And I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. We're going to play it anyway.
Yes.
Please sit down. Listen, before I get Rose, let me assure you she is the only one here who thinks she saw a UFO.
No, I understand completely, Miss Bornak. By the way, is that Ms. Zbornak or Mrs.? I'm hoping it's Ms.
Well, yes. Yes, as a matter of fact, it is.
Good. I've already got that box checked on this form.
To Dorothy's credit, the way he asked that with that little smile, he was 100% asking it in a flirtatious way.
Yes, 1000%. I mean, and also, he would. She's there. She's in her nightgown.
She's ready.
Yeah.
She's ready.
She's ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish something would have come of that. That would have been really nice at the end if he came back and they were, you know.
I know, yeah.
It is, so it's also wild to me. So in this moment, he tells Dorothy, he like describes what Rose saw, and she's like, yep, that's it. He's like, cool. So yeah, that was a UFO. It is so wild to me that a representative of the military would 100% confirm to a civilian that something they saw in the sky was,
I mean, you know,
in fact, a UFO.
Maybe it's the current Trump administration. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's something that would happen. They were texting on that Signal app or whatever. So like, or Telegram or whatever it was. So, you know, like crazier things have happened in the government. I
mean, he also trusts Dorothy and Rose not to say anything until he reaches back out to them.
This is the era of National Enquirer at its best. Girls, make your money. Fuck that guy. Get your $10,000 or whatever they paid.
So if this were a Black Mirror episode or like the Twilight Zone, this is the moment in the episode where Rose and Dorothy, where the military guy would be like, nope, you saw nothing, or it was like a hot air balloon or something. And then they would be whisked away by like Black Op specialists to have their memories wiped. And then they would just be like dropped in the middle of Ohio somewhere. Like, how did we get here? That's what would happen.
Yeah, they would be dropped in Ohio. That would be hard for Dorothy.
It would be so easy for Rose, though.
Oh, yeah. She'd be, I mean, her camp survival skills would come right out. She's ready.
Yeah. And I think anytime the other women have to rely on Rose for something, it's always really, really funny. Like when she's the smartest one in the situation.
But you also know it's like serious.
I was just thinking like another spinoff. If they didn't do the Golden Palace, it could have been fun. if they did a St. Olaf show
Or
where
if they started
Rose.
a camp.
Oh, that would have been fun.
Oh yeah.
I was just thinking, like, if there were like a business opportunity in St. Olaf and all the women went, and Rose was always in her element, and then Blanche and Sophia were always like,
That's a little too Newhart, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that essentially was the Bob Newhart to Newhart. Like, even though it was a different character, like it really wasn't. It really wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually think the Golden Palace, out of all the possibilities of a spin-off show, I actually think the Golden Palace was probably the smartest idea.
I think so too. It's smart. I mean, it's good. It works for them,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just mix it up a little bit. So Ham and Blanche. I love the name Ham. Every time I say it's so
funny. It's so funny.
Ham. I've never met a Ham.
I haven't
Ham,
either.
is that short for anything, or is it just Ham?
I'll Google it.
Is like Hamlet? Okay.
Let me Google it.
Ham and Blanche return home from their date, and you can tell, like, Blanche genuinely had a good time. Like, they danced, he made her laugh. So even though Ham says it's late and he should be going, you know, she strong arms him into coming inside, because we all know what Blanche wants at the end of the day.
So yes, it is. It can be short for many names. It can be short for Hamilton. It can be short for Hamfatter, Hamfatter, Hamfatter. The biblical name Ham is also the name of one of Noah's sons in the Bible. So yeah, maybe.
Okay, well,
there you go. Hamilton
Lushbow.
Ham.
So I want to play this next moment so that, one, everyone watching the video version of this can see Blanche's gorgeous dress that we've been talking about. And two, because I want everybody to kind of take in everything that Ham is doing, because I have some thoughts on his behavior.
Okay, let's play it.
I'm glad I looked you up, Blanche. I haven't had this much fun in a long time. Well, I guess I better be getting back to the hotel.
Oh, honey, are you sure you have to?
Blanche, are you asking me what I think you're asking me?
Think you might like some company tonight?
Maybe some other time, Blanche.
I mean, okay, not to brag, but I have turned people down before. I'm not saying, you know, there's been a line of people, but there's been like maybe one or two that I've had to turn down in my lifetime. And I don't think I'd handle it like Ham.
No.
No.
Because he's setting her up for failure right there.
He's teasing her.
He's teasing her, exactly. When he says, "Are you asking me what I think you're asking me?" Like with that kind of coy look on his face, like right there, he is signaling to her that he's flirting with her. He wants her to ask the question only to reject her. I thought that was distasteful.
And it's just mean. It's cruel.
And it's just, I feel like if she was like, "Oh, do you have to?" And she's like, "You got to be like, oh yeah, I got to get up early," or like, "I had so much fun, but like, you know, I just want to be friends." Like, it's so shitty that he did that to her twice. So this is where, because I would have felt rejected too, this is where my feelings on Ham, where I started to hate Ham.
You know what this reminds me of, even though there's bits of it in the storylines, but like not really, is Charlotte and Harry in Sex and the City, when she was so eager for him to set the date, you know, and she says the thing like, set the date, look at you, you know what it's like to have me be seen with you. Like, she basically is saying like, you're not hot, but yet I still love you, so you should love me. And that isn't happening necessarily. It kind of happens towards the end of the storyline, but like it just reminded me of it. Like, when I watch this episode, I think of that Sex and the City episode.
I also just feel like Blanche has lived with this for what? Like 30 years
or
at this point.
In Blanche speak, 10.
In Blanche speak, 10.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it's got to be so hard for her. And then later, Blanche admits to the other women, they're all sitting around in our like late night kitchen table scene. She admits, like, she's like, no, I'm not even attracted to him. She just wants to hook up because she can't stand the thought of there being a single man on this earth that she can't seduce, because as we all know, for Blanche Devereaux, her sexuality is her entire identity.
She wants to settle the score. She wants to get that notch on her bedpost or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, she wants a perfect score.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
So that was our big act break moment. And then when we return, Dorothy is out on the Lanai plug, looking at the stars through binoculars. And Rose, this is where Rose says she likes the idea of aliens coming around because, what if they have a Cocoon moment where we never grow old? Which Cocoon, one of the stars of Cocoon, Don Amici, who played Rose's dad, the monk
Also,
in a later season.
Just such a good movie. You really should watch it. And it has Mr. Steve Guttenberg, who outside of the Golden Girls universe is just my God, I just need to fan myself.
How much time should we dedicate to talking about Steve Guttenberg
it's
right
fine.
now? Should I go get a drink? Should I go get some water?
I'm just saying, Steve Guttenberg.
I love the moment. So when Rose is talking about all the exciting things that, all the possibilities that we could get out of extraterrestrials being here, Dorothy's like, no, like, I don't think I'd want a Cocoon situation. I love the way this devolves for Dorothy. She goes, I actually really like my life. Though I am a substitute teacher, a divorced substitute teacher who can't even afford to live by herself. Beam me up.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's so my humor too. That like idea of like, where you really start to evaluate your life and then you're like, maybe I should do something else.
That little speech that she gave, I was like, I want to see that. I want to see Alaska, if you're listening, I want to see Alaska do that in like a live show.
Oh my God.
With those pauses.
Do it, Alaska.
Beam me up. So Blanche decides she's not going to give up on trying to seduce Ham.
No.
She's going to try again.
Yeah, she's going to get it this time.
She's going to get it this time. So they go to this fancy dinner. And I love that the scene starts with Blanche wiping the corners of her mouth with a cloth napkin, like to signal it's the end of dinner. And it reminds me of the time that Dorothy does the same thing when she pretends to eat Rose's chipped beef. She's like, just patting. Like, when was the last time you just daintily patted the corners of your mouth with a cloth napkin after
Usually
eating?
when I want to act like I'm not, when I want to distract from what I didn't eat because it's gross. But which I do often, I'm going to say. That said, what I love about this scene is that, and the clip you pulled is great, but it's kind of Monty Python-esque. It's very, it's just absurd on such a wonderful, it's almost Naked Gun funny.
So we're gonna play. We couldn't play the whole thing because the whole interaction with Blanche trying to seduce him, it's very, very long. So we did just play the top of it because I wanted to get the champagne cork. And if you want to watch the whole thing and you want to watch it through the eyes of this podcast, watch the episode where we covered Blanche Devereaux's horniest moments, because I think we play probably almost the whole thing here.
Should we play it though?
Yeah, let's play this moment.
Champagne, Miss Devereaux?
Oh, thank you, Walter. Sure. You will forgive me if this champagne has a little effect on me. Sometimes just having it sitting on the table sets my heart to racing. Oh, feel. Lower. No, it's like there's some kind of wild animal energy in there. Pounding and burning, yearning and lusting, just crying out to be released.
It's
the
just
timing. It's so good.
There's even as she continues on and she's turning this waiter on. And you should be watching this episode on YouTube or Patreon or whatever, because that's just such a fun scene a moment to watch. But as she's doing it, then at the end he drinks her glass of champagne. It's just so funny.
It's so good. Yeah. This show had such a way of casting these smaller roles, like the waiter, the caterer, the priest. His performance, it was so funny in this moment. When her sexual seductress mode goes into hyperspeed, the way that he's not overacting, he's just perfectly acting.
Well,
he's not stealing the scene. He's accentuating the scene.
He's like an exclamation point on the scene. And then even when Ham ultimately turns Blanche down again for the millionth time and Blanche has her big blow up, you think the absurdity of the scene is over. You think the laughs are done and it's going to play that serious music because Blanche is angry or sad. No, it turns into another opportunity for like a slapstick moment where she says, what does she say exactly? She says like, well, some man will want me, I'm leaving, or whatever she says. And then as she storms out, basically the entire staff of this restaurant, who is male, follows her out into the parking lot because
all of the patrons, like, I mean, it just goes to show how seductive and alluring Blanche Devereaux truly is. Men are abandoning their dates. They're abandoning their careers. The chef follows her out. Like,
I mean, screwing up everyone's order at the restaurant, probably. Like, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's great. That moment, it also kind of reminds me of the speech that Blanche gives to her sister Charmaine about her filthy book. And then when Blanche storms off, everybody runs to grab a copy.
Yeah.
It's like Blanche Devereaux's words have the power to move masses.
It's true. It's so true.
Ham saying once again, maybe another time, Blanche. Again, like my rage is bubbling a little bit for Ham because I was like, can't he at least say something different? Because to say maybe another time, Blanche, it's like another time means, hey, not tonight, maybe a hookup in the future. But then he throws a maybe in there, which means like it may or may not happen. So it's like shit or get off the pot, dude. Either do it, hook up, or tell her why you're not interested, or just say you're not interested. Like the wishy-washiness of it all was infuriating.
He's just an annoying tease, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't.
So, yeah. But the sad thing is when Blanche gets home and she tells Dorothy and Rose like that she was successful in her conquest, or she tells Dorothy, like she obviously trusts and loves these women so much and she's always confiding in them. So you can tell like she really felt rejected and hurt and embarrassed. And that's why she wasn't going to say anything. She was just going to live with this all by herself, live with it alone.
Yeah, and just like
Tell
let
her
it be
pillow.
her little secret, which is, you know, she probably has a lot of that. Let's be real. Like she probably has a lot of secrets like that.
So then we learn the actual truth when Ham shows up and he finally decides to tell her what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And he admits that, you know, he's been having so much fun hanging out with her as friends that he didn't want to ruin it by having a repeat of the same night they had back in college, which is a shock to Blanche since they never hooked up. And they both realized that he didn't sleep with Blanche back then and have a bad time. It was actually her sister, Virginia.
Which I love where this story goes, where she ultimately turns Ham down. Obviously, we know this because, you know, he's not good enough for her. So it reminds me of Barbra Streisand in The Mirror Has Two Faces, where when Jeff Bridges goes, "Can I call you?" And she goes, "What for?" Like, and just leaves him. And it's a callback to when Elle Macpherson did it in the movie. Anyway, and it reminds me of that, like that this kind of moment. But then after she kicks Ham out, she gets all eager, which is like she's so back to being Blanche in this moment because she cannot wait to tell her sister Virginia. She cannot, she is eager to ruin her sister's day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the thing with Blanche too is that she actually still got what she wanted because her seduction did work. It was a little delayed, you know, when he's like, I'll trade all my memories for a quickie. She was like, yep, okay, yeah, no, that's all I needed because it worked. So it's like, as far as I'm concerned, and I think as far as Blanche Devereaux is concerned, her efforts have now been 100% successful. And she didn't even have to sleep with him. So win-win for her. Yeah,
she's done. She's done.
Yeah.
And now Dorothy learns that the alien is not the alien.
Yes, and I love the way they end this with Rose. It's so sweet. So, yeah, Sophia's reading the newspaper. She tells Dorothy that it was not a UFO. It was, in fact, a military top secret bomber jet that flew over, and the military is denying it, and they're being all, you know, secretive. Also, I love that a reporter cracked this case.
I know. I love that someone got on it.
It's just like in the Miami Herald, they're like, well, secret stuff going on over at the military base nearby.
Yeah.
So Dorothy goes out on the Lanai plug to tell Rose, who's still searching the sky with her binoculars.
Yeah.
She's got to break the news to her.
She's so eager for it.
She's so eager, and it breaks my heart. Rose is so bummed. She kind of likens the experience to believing in Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so she kind of starts to tell a little bit of a story about her kids and which of course makes Dorothy fall asleep because we can't blame Dorothy for falling asleep to a St. Olaf story when you're out there in the breeze, relaxing on the Lanai, you know.
Plug.
And then, you know, I love how they ended this sweet moment. Rose is all by herself. Dorothy's asleep. Something colorful and mysterious goes across the sky, and this smile comes across Rose's face. It's like that wide-eyed, curious, optimistic part of Rose that we love so much, that like she still gets to keep that little bit of magic. And I think that's so beautiful and sweet. And I love that they treated this story with such care.
It's true. It's true. I mean, they really sort of let Rose be the delicate one that she is, and that we love her for. And I love that they kept that. And that's the episode.
And that's the episode.
Ooh, aliens. They are out there. Don't stop believing, Rose. Should we take a break and come back?
As the poet laureate Tom DeLonge once said, aliens exist.
Who's Tom DeLonge?
From Blink-182. He wrote a song and then made them record it called Aliens Exist.
I don't know. Yeah. Blink-182,
we'll come back with Gold. I'll play it for you.
Are they the naked band?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, if you want to reduce them to a music video visual,
right?
Yes, they're the naked band.
Ones. And the
yes, they were the naked band.
The Gwen Stefani band had the one naked guy too. That's all I remember from those days. The naked ones. Flea.
That lines up.
Yeah. Okay. Great. We'll come back with our golden takeaways.
All right.
And we are back with our golden takeaways, which is a nugget of truth or inspiration that you can apply to your lives or the lives of our listeners. For any big Blink-182 fans out there, Kerri did just play the song for me, and I can safely say I've never heard it before in my life. I don't understand what I just heard.
Someone out there is appreciating, hey, Mom, there's something in the back room. Someone appreciates it out there.
What is the Blink-182 song?
Again, if you want to...
No, but what is like the most popular one?
A lot of people know All the Small Things or What's My Age Again.
I know that all the small things.
Yeah.
You suck. Something, right?
Yeah, it's adjacent.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to start with...
What's your golden takeaway from this episode, Kerri?
Oh, as a band I loved since I was like 14. Okay. My golden takeaway is I feel like a lot of our listeners can relate to Blanche and thinking about the one that got away. And I feel like in those situations, especially like for Blanche, the longer that time goes on, the more you can kind of build up what could have been in your head. Yeah. And the more you will the more you're building it up, you're also building up the possibility of being disappointed if you ever actually catch that person. Mm-hmm. So like, I just want to for anybody who's like, oh, they watch this episode, they're like, oh, maybe I should reach out to the one that got away. I just want to say, just maybe think about it for a minute and maybe let that what if live in your head, because it's kind of like a bag of candy that you can reach for whenever you want if it just lives in your head, and you won't have that disappointment.
Interesting. My golden takeaway is there's a scene in this episode where Blanche is eating a bag of Chips Ahoy, and one of the
go on.
And I've been thinking about this ever since I watched it, and it's so interesting. You know how when you get with someone and then their tastes in food come into your life, and you have to accept and sort of compromise, if you will. And there's there's the chewy Chips Ahoy and there's the crunchy Chips Ahoy, right? I don't know what the names is. Are there names for these two versions? I don't know. Anyway,
I just always thought there were chewy Chips Ahoy. I don't know what a crunchy Chips Ahoy even is.
Well, there's the blue bag that's like more of a crunchy cookie, and then there's the red bag that is more of a soft cookie. And Michael loves the soft
I only know
Chips
the hard
Ahoy,
ones. Okay.
and yep. I don't love eating a hard Chips Ahoy, but I love dipping a hard Chips Ahoy in milk. Like that's an experience from my childhood that I very much enjoy. And we don't get the blue bag. I mean, I don't get the blue bag a lot because I just, I have a weight problem. But I always, like in our cabinet, I see the red bag of the soft Chips Ahoy, and I just think to myself, I could never. I can't. It's the softness of it makes me feel uncomfortable. So my question
you don't want a flaccid Chips Ahoy.
I never want anything flaccid, although I appreciate it.
Do you remember Meryl Streep in Death Becomes Her?
Yes.
Flaccid.
Do I remember? Do I remember? Flaccid. Yeah, no, I remember that. I don't remember Blink-182, but I remember Meryl Streep in Death Becomes Her.
Yep.
Yeah. So I want to know from people: Are you crunchy Chips Ahoy or are you soft Chips Ahoy? And if you're soft, do you dunk in milk and why? Because that's gross. Only if it's soft.
And do you pronounce it milk?
Milk. I can't. I'm Missouri. I can't. Milk.
I know you are. You can't.
Milk.
Oh my gosh. So let us know. Do you think aliens exist like Tom DeLonge? Let us know. This was such a blast. And this has been another episode of Out on the Lanai. And we will catch you back here soon for more Golden Girls greatness. And remember to head on over, check out the GGVIP Club at patreon.com/Golden Girls Podcast. So much great stuff going on over there.
It's true. And also we're a part of Mom Moguls of Media. So go subscribe over there. And you can follow us on social media at Golden Girls Pod on Twitter, Out on the Lanai Official on Instagram, Golden Girls Pod on Facebook. And I'm HAlanScott /Sadie Pines on everything.
And I am Squid Eats Squid on Twitter and Squidsy on Instagram. And if you guys want to do something nice for the podcast, you can leave us a rating and a review wherever you get this podcast, because it helps more people discover us and join our lovely kick-ass community of Golden Girls fans.
It's true. And remember,
as always,
can't afford it.
Can't afford it.
Stay golden.
golden.
When you said Tom DeLonge's name again, I literally, my head went again. Who's that? So.
You forgot already.
Yeah.
Flaccid.
Flaccid.
Out on the Lanai is not endorsed by Whit Thomas Harris Productions, Touchstone Television, Disney, or any of its subsidiaries. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only.
All names, pictures, audio, and video clips of the Golden Girls are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and/or copyright holders.